Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-April 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Saggies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides, talk to me about Sagittarius in mid-April. We're going to see what's going on with the energies for you, my friends. What do we have? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in mid-April, please. Okay, yeah, the deck is jumping. It wants to talk to you. Let's see what's up. Please and thank you. What energies are going to be around for my good friends? Okay, big energy of the life's journey in general. This is a very powerful energy to have at the front end of a reading. Now, I do always say that this is an extremely positive card. I love the energy of it. It could be speaking about your spirit team, your guides, and all that good stuff. But to me, it's a card that kind of encapsulates the life journey as a whole. So you might have some really intense things happening when this card's here. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So it's a beautiful piece of imagery. We see this individual, it looks like they're being carried along by these birds. Now, in divination and symbolism, white birds represent those love and light types of energy. So whether it's the angels, angelic beings, your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, or people that are watching over you, this is a beautiful connection to spirit, because notice they're helping this person along. So when I see this, first and foremost, it's spiritual protection. A lot of you Saggies might just need to hear that. Like, listen, you are being watched over, you are protected, you have a purpose, you have a journey that you're on. And you see them, they're marching forward, they're marching forth. So for a lot of you, yeah, there could be important things happening right now that are going to have, I don't want to say repercussions, but they're going to affect your life's journey as a whole, not necessarily in a rough way. So just know there could be a big importance placed on this time frame when this card is here. Just know that you're being looked after. This is really nice. So we're going to put it down there. They could keep journeying, right? Let's see what we have in tarot. And I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just the footnote. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness and shuffle it up here for my Saggies, please, my guides. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was quite lovely, if I do say so myself. The reading was titled An Unexpected Win, so I really hope you had a couple, right? Whether it was a financial thing, whether it was a connections, it could come in many different shapes and sizes, but I felt like something could be changing for the better. There's a good energy moving towards the Saggy collective, and we're going to hope to keep it going, right? I mean, as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, right? So let's see what we got for you, Saggy. We could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, but with the energy I saw last week, it was nice. So what do we got? I mean, even the couple weeks leading up to it, yeah, for Saggy. Lots of things popping up. All right, we have the 7 of Wands, and this is a card like love it or hate it type of energy, where it's either really, really good, or it could just represent a little frustration. So we'll see what's up with that. Let's get a couple more, then we'll piece this together. 7 of Wands doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Okay, we have the 8 of Swords. All right, both of these energies feel trapped in one form or another. Okay, so that is something, and I know I'm a fire sign myself. Saggies really dislike the feeling of being cornered or trapped or something like that. So the clarifier is going to be super important here. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I've been seeing a ton of internal energy for all the fire signs this week, and the Saggy reading looks to be in a similar vein. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, we have an intriguing mixture of things happening. Notice we have the double down of air energy here on the back, which could be someone's mindset, someone's mind state. This could also represent communication and speaking. We also have the fire here with the 7 of Wands. And when you mix fire and air, you already know this is a changeable energy. It's explosive energy. So we'll see how that's going to affect the reading as a whole. I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing here on the front with the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Swords, because they have a lot of differences, but the one thing they have in common is feeling cornered or feeling like your hands are tied in one way or another. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because we still have a lot to go. But position number one, we have the Seven of Wands, and you see that individual there. It's like they're on top of a wall and they're battling off a whole bunch of people. So in the rougher sense, this card could often show up when somebody's going through some problems, when they're going through some issues, when there's some roadblocks, road bumps, things that are kind of getting in the way. So whether it's now or recent times, it might feel like something's a bit of a fight, something's a bit of a struggle. Sometimes this shows up when Spirit's testing you in one way or another. But a big thing I always say about the Seven of Wands, yeah, it's combative, but at the same time, there's a really good side to it. It's somebody that's never going to quit. It's like, can't stop, won't stop. I'm going to keep going. Extremely determined type of energy. This is like a warrior type of vibe. So I do like this card to start us off, because it's telling me that somebody is wanting to follow through with something, or, you know, just see how far they could take it. This is a good energy. I'm liking it on the front so far. Now, the only thing that's really concerning me, like I said, is this cornered feeling, or feeling like the hands are tied. As we get to the center, we have the Eight of Swords. Now, all cards have the positive and the challenge aspect to it. Eight of Swords, you see that person, they're blindfolded, they're tied up, they're surrounded by the swords. So of course, this could be someone overthinking. I often see this when someone's anxious, nervous, thinking about something a little too much. And remember, that doesn't have to be you. It could just be someone you're connected to where they think way too much, where they're their own worst enemy in the mind. It's that trapped energy, and I really want to see how it resolves when we get to the bottom of it. The good thing about this Eight of Swords is that it's far from permanent. This is something that will pass quickly. This is an energy, well, it's here, then it's gone just as quick. So take from that what you will. It's also a card that could be very liberating and freeing in one way or another. So we'll see what's up with this. And once again, I did say it could just be someone a little anxious, nervous, you name it. We'll talk about it more. I mean, I think I gave you a pretty comprehensive list of some of the things that this card could represent. Now, when we get to the back end, I like how this feels, especially with the Eight of Swords right next to it. We have the King of Swords. Now, for a portion of you might be connected to an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the King of Swords is determined, just like the Seven of Wands, but it's plan-based, it's strategic, very, very intelligent. So whatever issues or problems you're going through, there's not a ton of mystery here that I see yet. Like, you're very good at identifying what the problem is, or what needs to be fixed, or what's not working. That's what I think of with this King of Swords. Once again, super determined type of energy. The rough side of the King of Swords, if we're not talking about strategy or someone planning something or all the other things we just mentioned, it can be cold. Okay, so there could be a certain situation in this time where you're feeling a little cold, or maybe someone's acting a little cold. It could be a little mean sometimes. Okay, and with all this energy that we're seeing here on the front end, it makes sense. Okay, like someone feeling like they're cornered or backed into a corner, and they lash out in one way or another. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Saggy. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. Let's see what's going on, because the whole energy could shift when we start clarifying. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Wands. See what this problematic energy could be. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Saggy, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Seven of Wands. Why is this Seven of Wands here? Thank you. Oh, we got Lady Justice, karmic energy here. Okay. All right, so this karmic energy is getting served up on a hot plate. That's one thing I could say here. Now, for a portion of you, you might just be connected to a Libra. Okay, and I feel like this could be really good. Like, listen, I'm going to make something right. I'm going to make sure it's done right. This feels very detail-oriented. So if you're wondering if someone around you is like purposely trying to upset you or anything like that, I don't think that's the case. Getting a lot of energies here. Lady Justice could be a couple of different warnings for some of you if you're not connected to a Libra. First and foremost, if you're doing anything contractual, okay? So whether it is like paperwork, taxes, legal things, leases, you name it, anything you're putting your signature on, be very, very careful about it. Okay, that's one thing we see with Lady Justice. But she's the biggest karmic card that speaks about the journey of life. And I did say it in the very beginning, there could be something, whether this is a karmic test or a karmic situation that you really need to learn from. The energy's coming through really powerful, that a struggle you may be having, a problem you may be having, it could be to teach you a very specific lesson in this time, okay? And you might not like to hear that. I mean, I know not every Saggy is going through things right now, but if you are, if you've been drawn to this reading and yeah, it's hitting for you a little bit, Spirit does want you to know that, like, listen, you are going to pull some valuable lessons from whatever it is you're going through right now or whatever it is you're grappling with. So this is good. And I know Saggies are very philosophical and you probably already understand this and know it. But we'll put Lady Justice here. If that's not the case, somebody's going to get served up karma, plain and simple. But I'm not fully going in on that message. Let's see what the rest has to say. And like I also mentioned in the beginning, Seven of Wands, Lady Justice, like, I'm going to make something right, or I'm not going to give up on this. Like, that's another energy I'm picking up too. It's like, I won't give up. I refuse to give up. I'm going to make something right. Let's keep moving. The energies are coming through very scattered this week, Saggy. So take from that what you will. So why is the Eight of Swords here? We're just going to keep it going. Thank you. Okay. This is somebody who could be acting pretty pessimistic in your midst. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse underneath this Eight of Swords. Feels very doom and gloom. This feels like, to me, someone that their vibrations, their energies might drag you down. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way or a bad way. I would just say watch the company you keep in this time, because the energy of somebody else could be like draining here. Like, it feels a little tiresome. Aside from that, when I see the Eight of Swords with the Ten of Cups in reverse, like I said, this could be someone that's like very anxious, very nervous. Worst case scenario, like, what's going to go wrong? How's this going to go off the rails? Someone that's only looking at like the worst possible scenarios. So if that's not you, and I know Saggies are very lighthearted individuals. I love Sagittarius energy because I'm an Aries. When I see this Eight of Swords, Ten of Cups, I feel like for a lot of you, it could just be somebody else affecting your energy, or someone you're linked to, like mentally they're going through an issue here. Either they're nervous, anxious, whatever you want to call it, it's showing up. There's a bit of a struggle here. So we're just going to keep moving. We're not going to feed too much energy into it. It's just giving us a snapshot of somebody struggling. Somebody struggling. So let's see why the King of Swords is in the mix. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So talk to me about this King of Swords. Thank you. Eight of Pentacles, working on it. So if this is, all right, now I'm starting to see a fuller picture here. If this isn't something you are purposely experiencing or personally experiencing, pardon me, for a big portion of you, like, you know the pieces of your personality, you know the pieces of yourself that aren't the healthiest. You're very good at self-reflection and self-analysis. And when I see the King of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Kind of like this determined energy here in the front end. Like, yeah, well, I might not be perfect, but I'm trying to be better. It's like giving me that energy, which is good. Now, if that's not you, just know there's someone around you, despite their faults, despite their issues, despite the negative aspects of their personality. I feel like this person wants to work on themselves or make themselves better. That's just how this feels. Now, a portion of you, this could be linked to work. For some of you, the King of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, watch out for issues with an authority figure in this time, or watch out for issues at work in general. You might be planning a different route in regards to what you do for a career, what you do for a job. It's like, okay, well, I need this job for now, but I want to switch it up. I do feel like somebody wanting to change what they do for money, but I'm getting so many different messages here. You see what I mean? It's coming through like kind of scattered, where it's like several different things per each alignment. But I do feel, in general, whatever this person's faults are, whether it's you or somebody else, it's like, I'm working on it. Okay, whether they're doing therapy, or whether they're doing a lot of introspection and spiritual work, energy work, I feel like this is somebody that wants to get better. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Saggy. Whoever it is that's showing up in this spread, they know they're not perfect. and they're working on it, which I like, because I was getting nervous when we got here to the center. Now I'm happy with that back end. Let's go through real quick. Position number 1, we have the 7 of Wands with Lady Justice in upright. I did say, yeah, karma could be coming through, but I felt like for a lot of you, there could be a problem or a situation you're going through that does have karmic connotations to your life's journey in general. It's meant to teach you a lesson that you could take with you. It doesn't necessarily feel bad. I did say watch out for anything contractual or anything you're putting your signature on in this time. Moving to the center, we have the 8 of Swords, and I also said here in the front end before we move forward, someone who's very determined to either make something right or stay dedicated. Moving to the center, we have the 8 of Swords with the 10 of Cups in reverse. Quite pessimistic type of energy I was picking up, whether it's someone that is a little draining in their ways, or they're like always negative or looking at the worst case scenario. I did say it could be someone that's very much high-strung, anxious, or nervous, and it's like very draining here. Onto the back end, the King of Swords with the 8 of Pentacles in the upright. This person knows what their faults are. They know they're not perfect, and they're working on getting better, or at least trying to make it better. And that's really nice. I do feel like that's a good end portion of this reading. Another portion of you, watch out for authority figures at work, and some of you might be really planning a change in what you do for a living. So please take a screenshot of that, Saggy. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Okay, that reading had a lot of stuff going on there, so obviously if it doesn't hit, you can check your other alignments. But let's see what we have here for Saggy in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. What do we got in the shadows? Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love and appreciation for my channel members. I really do. Okay, get this shadow card going for my friends. What is in the shadows for Saggy? Thank you. Okay, yeah, 3 of Wands, so something is close. That's what I will say when that 3 of Wands shows up as a shadow card. Now, for some of you, you might be in a holding pattern or waiting on something. You could have purposely be manifesting, or you have been recently when this card is here. It's another one that can speak about situations where distance is involved or travel, stuff like that. But to me, when this shows up as a shadow card, you might be waiting on something and you're not letting other people know that you are. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to wait and see what happens here. Or I'm hoping that this happens. Like, it's like secretly hoping for a very specific outcome. But I will say, as a shadow card, this isn't really super rough. This is leaning towards a positive shadow card, because you should know that in this time, what you focus on the most, or what you try to bring into your reality, you could really do it. You could really manifest it with this 3 of Wands here. And for a portion of you too, yeah, there could be something you've been waiting on for a while. It's just within reach. It's coming. That's what this is telling me here. Even if you don't see it, you don't understand it, something is coming in. So yeah, Saggy, we'll leave it at that. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The April subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar and schedule at mastermetaphysics.com. And if you got your name in for the March subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced on April 1st. But for the April subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite decks. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you had to switch your zodiac sign, which sign would you choose to be out of the whole 12? So if you do that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you soon.